back doing interviews again. We're here with Cassandra Carson, who I told her you might be the busiest person in music. I think
Might be.
you're
Maybe.
putting out two albums this year, and you're working on a third, which that doesn't normally happen. So let's talk about the first one here, the newest one that's coming out. We have Cassandra's Crossing, which is a collab with you and George Lynch. So how did that come to be?
It was kind of crazy, kind of like a few years in the making, I guess, because back in 2019, just by chance, I got to guest with Lynch Mob on the song Street Fighting Man. Uh, Jaron and I just happened to be there because Tantric had a day off. Like, we just happened to be able to tag along at the end of this VIP meet and greet line to meet George. Like, it was also just serendipitous. So anyway, that night ended up getting up there to sing Street Fighting Man with them, and it went really well. And that was back in 2019. So then, fast forward a few years after that, Jaron ends up playing bass for Lynch Mob in 2023, or yeah, I believe 23 or 22.
Something like
Ah,
that.
I don't know, one of
It's
those
been
two.
forever.
After COVID, my sense of time, it doesn't
Everybody's
work.
dead. Yeah, it's
So somewhere around that time, he joined Lynch Mob. And then last October, I went to just like hang out with them to see Jaron and of course to see the band. And while I was there, George was like, "Why don't you get up and sing Street Fighting Man again?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I definitely still know it. So if you're
yeah.
serious, I will totally do that." And anyway, got to do that again. Got to sing the whole thing this time, which was really cool because the first time I was doing kind of like a duet version of it with Keith St. John. So anyway, it was a more fun experience the second time. And after that show, I was serving as George's runner, like to drive him immediately from off the stage back to the hotel. So got him in the car and was driving, and he was just over the top being so nice, just saying how much he loved, performing with me, loved my voice, and just felt like the energy was, completely different whenever I got on stage. And anyway, all the nice things. It was really cool. And so I was like, well, dude, next time we got to do some Dirty Shirley. That would be really cool. And he was like, Dirty Shirley? And I'm like, well, yeah, are you kidding me? Yes. Like, Dino Jalusic is my favorite singer right now, and
He's
obviously it's
ridiculous.
George. So he was like, "Well, funny you should mention that because I'm going into the studio next week to record the next Dirty Shirley record, and Dino is not going to be singing on it. So we're looking for a singer, and you should do it." And I was just kind of stunned and was
Yeah.
okay. I mean, yeah, if you want me to do that, I will totally do that. Um, but it was just kind of like allowing myself to float through the wind and just like whatever happens happens. So I actually messaged Dino and asked for his blessing, and he was like, "Oh, absolutely, this is like made for you, you have to do this, you're the perfect fit." So I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." And like a week after that, I had 12 tracks from George. It was all his guitar tracks to just like a very basic drum loop. And from there, I started writing lyrics and melodies and just took it one song at a time. And now we have this whole record and we're about to release it. Kind of
So
crazy.
did you approach the writing any different to any of your other projects, or was it just kind of the same mindset?
Very similar to the Life Project because Josh does kind of the same thing where he'll create the structure of the song, he'll lay down the guitars, and a lot of time Josh will also lay down like the bass and keyboards and like all these auxiliary things as well.
Yeah,
Then I come in and I just kind of sing over the top of it. I come up with my own melodies and the lyrics and stuff and just kind of like, complete it. So luckily, I had some experience in songwriting and collaborating in that way. So uh, that was very helpful to have that under my belt to then, take it to work with George on something like that.
for sure. So Garden of Earthly Delights, the full album is coming out October 25th. We already have a single out, Stranger. Does the rest of the album, is it reminiscent of that, or is it going off in another direction?
It's pretty eclectic, but there are some other tracks that are very much in the same vein as Stranger. The next single, for example, is kind of a departure from what Stranger was. So I'm really excited for people to hear these songs, they're kind of just all over the spectrum. Some of them are more lax, some of them, uh, dude, I don't know. I just have to let you guys listen to it, but they all kind of have
Yeah.
their own vibe and feel.
Awesome. And so you're not slowing down with the other stuff though. Paralandra is on the road. You're actually playing tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah, yes. I'm
Yes.
playing
Okay. And then you're
tomorrow.
hopping on a boat. You guys are all over the place. And you just added you're doing VIP tickets now. So tell everyone what they can get if they want to hang out with the band.
Yeah, go to paralandrarocks.com. Check out the
Woo!
VIP option. Yeah, it's new because we are doing an acoustic song or a couple of songs, which I have always been like avidly against playing anything acoustic. I just like hate it. But
Why?
it just is lame and I can't play my guitar solos. So
Oh, fair. That's fair.
um, but it's actually made me kind of like, stretch my legs and having to adjust some of these solos and kind of rework some of these songs to work in an acoustic way. Um, it's kind of fun. And, it gives the people something a little bit different to experience, a different version of the song that they may hear, once we're on stage. So, uh, yeah, there's that. And of course, we just love hanging out with our fans, getting that one-on-one time. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah.
And so then you have Rock the Magnifica cruise in a few days. You all ready for the boat? Did you pack yet? Because I don't pack before these things until like the day of.
No,
Okay, good. I
no.
was just making sure.
We leave tomorrow, so I have plenty of time to pack.
Yeah, for sure. It's only the afternoon. And so not only are you doing that, but again, you're working on life project stuff. You guys are in the studio. Is that done or are you still laying
As
down
of
vocals for that?
as of right now, pretty much everything is done except for my vocals. So
Okay.
I've got um two sections of studio time coming up later this year where I'll kind of divide it in half. I'll do the first few songs in the first half and then the second, in the second half. But like all the music is pretty much done. So all I got to do is just like wrap this thing up with a bow and we'll have another life project record.
So Jaron said this is the heaviest material he's been a part of. Would you say that that's true or is he just,
I don't know for him because he's been in
yeah,
like heavy like death metal bands. So
he said it.
his words, I mean, yeah. But definitely the heaviest material that I have been a part of. And it
Okay.
sounds insane. I'm stoked.
Do you have a goal for when you guys want to get that out?
We're hoping for 2025. Realistically, we would like to be able to do some tour dates, be able to perform live to support the album.
Yeah.
Um, so right now our schedules are just insane throughout March of next year. So I would guess that we'll probably time it in a way that we'll be able to switch over and I'll be able to, Jaron and I both will be able to switch to life project mode and, be on the road doing that for a little while.
So yeah, when you're doing, because you have so many different projects, like how do you change up what your mindset is while you're doing that? Are you just constantly like focused on one, or is it everything spinning at once?
Oh, it's everything spinning at once. It's great.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I have like, I'm sure a lot of musicians will relate to this. I just have like ditties going through my head like all the time. So I am pretty much always like proactively writing down song ideas, or recording little snippets here and there. And sometimes it ends up working for Paralandra. I would say most of the time we'll go towards Paralandra, but sometimes it's like something that I think would fit really well with Life Project or Cassandra's Crossing, for example. So yeah, it's all just kind of always happening. I guess less so with Cassandra's Crossing now that I'm done actually writing and recording that album.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to
Um,
take a break.
and then on top of your own stuff, you're also guesting on others people's stuff. As if doing three bands wasn't enough, you decided to do more. So you were just on the single "Unconditional" with Beyond the Gray, which was released last month. So how did that come through?
Yeah, so Beyond the Gray is a band out of Kansas City, and I live in Springfield, Missouri, just about a 3 hour driving time between the two. But Beyond the Gray reached out and they said that they had been fans of Paralandra for years at this point, and the guy had written this song, Unconditional, just about him and his wife's relationship and, the hardships that you go through and loving each other unconditionally throughout those things. And he was like, I just really need like a powerful female vocalist to be able to like sing this song with me to really get the message across the way that he's wanting to. So their producer mentioned me and they were like, oh, well, yeah, of course, Cassandra from Paralandra. She's like just a few hours away. So they reached out, sent me the song, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. This is a really cool song. I'd love to be part of it. And so, I just scheduled the studio time and just got it done. Like, so easy as that.
Is that something you're open to doing more of, just guesting on other tracks, or is that something you want to try to keep down because you obviously have so much going on?
Honestly, I take it as it comes.
Yeah.
I love being busy, and if it's a song that I'm particularly really enjoying, then yeah, I'll try to fit it into my schedule. So
Awesome. Well, that is seems to be everything for now until it turns to next week and you have about three more things happening. But I think we've got everything covered. If there's anything else you want to talk about, please feel free.
okay, well, I guess you hit all of the major points. Check out for Paralandra's tour dates. We're literally on the road till March 2020. Can't even talk. March 2025.
The next one, yeah.
Yeah. And we've got the next single for Cassandra's Crossing coming out next week. Like you said, full album's out on October 25th. So those are the main things to be looking out for. And you can just follow me on my socials. I'll be posting about all the different bands things from my page so you can get it all in one place that way.
That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Cassandra. Go pack for that cruise.
Nice. Thank you so much.